Hey everybody, Ultra Director Jester here. Friends, we've done it again. We've somehow managed to complete another grueling trek around the sun and cross the finish line to 2026. Congratulations! And it's no small wonder how we did it. Times are dire and it's rough for a lot of people, but I hope that perhaps my content has given you even a modicum of joy during these continuously embattled days. If you're a new viewer, I'm glad you're here with us. For longer time viewers, I'm glad you're still here after all these years. And I'm glad to still be able to bring those laughs and good times to you all. But also, and perhaps most important of all, I'm very glad you all got me to 6,000 subscribers! Time to rack up those big YouTube bucks! Woohoo! Bring in the daily vlogs! Bring in the gamer sub sponsorship! Bring in the shady crypto rug pull scam! Bring on the countless documentaries of my arc of infamy! In all seriousness, thank you all for helping me reach another new milestone. I'm not that much of an analytics guy and even less of a popular guy, but hey, neither of those things are all that important to me, so long as I can continue to keep doing all of this with you all. And speaking of continue, it's time to start another year of fresh, crispy brown, golden content! So, let's see what's cooking in the old kitchen this time around. Let's 2020 dry past 2025 and see what's in the 2020 mix for 2026. Although I gotta say, it is kinda cool to go into 2026 with 6,000 subscribers, yeah? So maybe this year we go with 6 announcements, alright? Yeah? Is that something? Shut up. Okay, so, typically when we start these annual announcement videos, we've got a clean slate and an open schedule to start the year. Not so in this case. Bargain Bin Lounge is taking another season-long hiatus while we scrape together new deals and give our wallets a breather, but we've still got Deltarune on Mondays and Wednesdays, and Metaphor on Tuesdays and Thursdays, returning next week. Then it'll probably be like that for a while. We are back to our regular schedule, as it were. So what we'll be seeing today probably won't be for a few weeks or months ahead, especially for how long Metaphor will end up being, let me just say. Now, before we start, I know how these things normally go for me. I always bite off more than I can chew every year, and who knows how things are going to go this year. So, consider this video more of a statement of intent. I have a loose idea as to how the year is going to go upload-wise, but consider this as a coming soon video rather than a strict, rigid schedule for the year. All I can say is that when one of these series ends and opens up a slot in the schedule, another will take its place. Speaking of, since Bargain Bin is taking that break, we've now got a free Saturday slot opened up for something new. Ooh, that's tomorrow! Let's see what's up first.
Telling me to go out and hunt?
As long as the demons rule this island, foraging is too great a burden for the humans alone. Your divinity dictates that you must be the one to act, my princess.
Over here!
Sakuna of Rice and Ruin is a game that I absolutely adore, and I don't care what anyone says. It's that sentiment that made it worthy of a Let's Play. Let me explain. Sakuna is a game about a bratty rice goddess who's been spoiled her whole rotten, privileged life, fucks up badly one day, and is forced to babysit some humans and grow her own damn rice for once on a hellacious, demon-infested island in order to regain the favor of the gods and be let back into the celestial realm. It's one part side-scrolling action beat-em-up, one part intricately detailed rice farming simulator. This hybrid gameplay, mixed with some great characters and an actually riveting story, makes for what will hopefully be a fun time for all. I hope the rest of you are as charmed by this game as I was. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin will begin tomorrow, January 3rd, noon Eastern Time, airing every Saturday. Naturally, Bargain Bin Lounge Season 3 will start after we conclude Sakuna. Okay, now, every year there's always a Sonic game. It's a bit of a tradition around here, isn't it? Might feel like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel even more every year, but trust me, we're nowhere near out of Sonic games to talk about. In fact, I'm sure some of you have an idea as to what this year's selection's gonna be. Wanna take a guess? Good, because you're probably wrong. This year's Sonic choice is Sonic Lost World, the game on Wii U that everyone forgot, and then got ported to PC for everyone to forget about again. This is one of the only Sonic games that I have no prior knowledge of. This one and, like, some handheld ones and those awful Sonic Boom games, I never had a desire to really give any of them a try. But even though I and everyone else has written off Lost World as a blatant Super Mario Galaxy clone, one day I really gave it a go, and I have to say that those allegations are completely false. It's more of a blatant Mario 3D Land clone, to be honest. Still, I actually had some fun with it, early on at least, and it's way more playable than I thought it would be. I think I might even like it? Well, that's a good enough reason to delay playing Sonic Unleashed again for another year or two. We're probably going to tackle this one after Deltarune Chapter 4 ends, so you shouldn't have to wait too long before we take on Sonic Lost World. Alright, next. Do you have a gaming bucket list? If you've been a gamer for as long as I have, i.e. too long, then you've probably played a lot of games in a lot of stages in your life. And maybe you had some regrets, unfinished business, things you never were able to accomplish back then, but now you probably could. Does that make sense? Well, either way, I've got a little bit of a gaming bucket list going on for the past couple of years, and I've been slowly marking some things off of it. Like, actually beating Dragon Quest VIII for PS2 and getting the true ending, obtaining the superior version of Mystic Heroes and getting those extra characters I was locked out of on the GameCube version, actually catching Carmen Sandiego and wearing the USA as Carmen Sandiego for DOS, because now she's apparently one of the good guys, and I don't buy it for a fucking cent! I gotta say, marking these off has been very accomplishing and rewarding in its own way. High school freshman and sophomore UDJ and 9-year-old UDJ have rigorously thanked me for finishing what they started so many years ago. But now, it's time to give 8-year-old UDJ a visit and take on what he could not accomplish, all the way back in 1997.
Hey man, how's it going?
Not bad, not bad. No more cowboy ghosts, right? You gotta understand something. I ride the Clancers. I have the answers. I played Greek dodgeball with a Virgin Diddy. Just me, Marina Light Years, and a lot of shaking. Oh, sure, those bees need their honey, but I need gold gems. The professor cannot wait forever. The evil empire will not allow it. So, where are you going?
Here's mine. New Mischief Makers, only on Nintendo 64.
Mischief Makers is a Nintendo 64 game made by Treasure, High Pedigree Studio, Sparkle Sparkle, and it's another one of those zany, unpredictable 5th-generation platformers. It follows Marina, the ultra-intergalactic cyborg G or whatever, and her creator, Professor Theo, and the wild antics they get up to in a distant, war-torn planet full of sad clown faces and balls and blocks. It was a game that enamored me as a kid, what do you expect with that gorgeous 90s anime aesthetic, and of course, shake, shake! But I never saw it through to the end due to a confusing foot race halfway through that I never figured out, and that always haunted me. This year, I want to change that. I'm not sure when, but this year, somehow, some way, I will complete Mischief Makers once and for all, and make it into a funny talking Let's Play YouTube video series. Might take a while, but I hope to make it worth your wait. Now for this next one, I plan to air after Metaphor. Because after we finally put that game to bed, I'm going to need something quick, easy, and uncomplicated in the meantime.
It has been 12 years since we lost him. We grieved the loss of the little one. His quests were epic. We unlocked every achievement together. We put our hearts in front of our fame. And then he was gone. In a flash. But we found a way to bring him back. He had forgotten everything. Every adventure, every accomplishment. And only you can help the little elephant who did indeed forget.
The Elephant Collection is a compilation of games created by John Cooney, who over the years has uploaded a lot of Flash games to Newgrounds and especially Arma games under his studio JMTBO2, now known as Wonderful Elephant. Maybe you remember a few of these titles. This is the Only Level, Achievement Unlocked, Elephant Quest, Achievement Unlocked 2, at 3? Well, if you haven't, then you're in for a treat. I'm a fan of aesthetics, and especially delicious game design, and this series featuring this little blue elephant getting into hijinks highlights some really tasty morsels, all in one collection. I think it'll be interesting to play through this and discuss it, and see how well we do in each one. Again, this will start after Metaphor ends as a bit of a palate cleanser in between projects. Although, let's be honest, this is a bit of a stopgap for what the next project is going to be.
Samus! I've been waiting for this.
Finally, after 19 years since the last one, and 8 years since its first announcement, we now have Metroid Prime 4. Was it worth the wait? Well, 8 years seldom is, but that's beside the point. We have a new Metroid game to play through! Now, at time of writing, I'm about halfway to my first playthrough and beginning the roadmap for the eventual series. The game is good, great even, but I think anyone will tell you the worst thing about this game is the wait. 8 years is a long time to wait for another Metroid Prime. But there's still stuff worth going over regardless, and a stellar adventure is somewhere in there. This will obviously air after Metaphor and the Elephant Collection have concluded, which should be enough time to wait out a few patches, maybe a content update or two, or maybe even get a Switch 2. That's right, as of right now, this will be played on Switch 1. I mean, why not though? Still looks and runs fine, the box art looks better, and besides, playing it on Switch 1 feels like a promise fulfilled, you know? Alright, before our last announcement, a couple of quick things. First up, shorts! Starting next Friday, shorts are coming back. Every Friday at, let's say noon Eastern Standard Time, a new short with a new gag from an old series will be featured. I'm sure in our 13 plus years of content making, we've got at least a couple of funny ones worth sharing. If you have a suggestion, be sure to clip it. You never know, it just might be featured one of these days. Also, beginning this Sunday, January 4th, and for every first Sunday of the month, it's full series uploads! Instead of having to find a playlist and deal with those pesky end slates, here's the whole thing unabridged. Starting with Mystical Ninja starring Goemon from all the way back in, oh god, that was 10 years ago. Well, the full LP will be uploaded for those who like background noise, long-form content, or if you somehow managed to fall asleep listening to our content. Alright, that fills out the week nicely. Now, let's move on to that last announcement. Honestly, I was kind of struggling to find a last announcement. Every idea that I've had was either too grand in scope for the moment, or just needed some more time on the drawing board. But, finally, I think I found something that's going to be a lot of fun. Monster Hunter Wilds! You wouldn't know it unless you saw my shorts I released a couple of days ago, but Monster Hunter Wilds is one of my favorite games of the year. Not a popular choice among my peers, perhaps, but I can't tell you how much this game has absolutely hooked me. But what I love more than thwacking big monsters in the shins for hours is feeding my inner sunbro with jolly cooperation. So eventually, Mystical and I are gonna co-op this beast. Haha. Expect Monster Hunter Wilds to appear on the channel sometime this year. Experience what a Monster Hunter newbie and Monster Hunter amateur can accomplish together. Well, that's gonna cover it, I think. I've got enough on my plate to last a good long while. Hope you enjoy watching this list of coming attractions. Keep an eye on stuff here in the coming months. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the channel. Bye!